At the UN Environment Assembly, scientists and scholars urge everyone to take concrete actions to protect the Earth. Sandakan Tzu Chi volunteers travel again to provide free vaccinations to stateless children in Sabah, Malaysia. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Lori Chen. Thank you for joining us. At the UN Environment Assembly, scientists and scholars presented the Global Environment Outlook 6th Regional Assessment Report. The conclusion warns that if human beings do not take concrete actions to protect the environment, the consequences could be dire.
The United Nations Environment Assembly recently presented a GEO6 report, a complete scientific analysis on the state of health of the planet Earth, from air pollution to food waste, energy consumption, and agricultural practices. The picture does not look pretty.
No country is yet doing enough. Some countries are doing more than others. Some countries have made more progress in some areas more than others, but all countries need to do more.
The host of the report, Professor Paul Ekins, has presented some astonishing numbers regarding air pollution and human health.
About 7 to 9 million people every year die early because of air pollution. And this is a problem which we know how to resolve.
The report points out that there are more than 100,000 chemical substances in the air that have been indirectly released by humans, and their harm to the environment have not been analyzed. One of the silent killers is nitrogen pollution. What is worse is the nitrogen oxides can lock the high temperatures in the air, which is 300 times worse than the greenhouse effect of carbon dioxide.
Nitrogen pollution, you have the nitrogen oxides which are coming from any high temperature combustion vehicles, power stations, and any combustion at high temperature. The other major source of nitrogen pollution is ammonia emissions. About 70% of that comes from agriculture, from animal husbandry, fertilizer use.
When you use nitrogen as synthetic fertilizer and manures, it releases ammonia to the atmosphere and nitrates into the water, and these are both environmental pollutants that could cause problems with human health and also with ecosystems. Unfortunately, there are also nitrogen releases in terms of greenhouse gases as well, and it also has an impact on the ozone hole.
Nitrogen pollution and other types of air pollution need to be monitored. However, in the past, due to lack of technology, air pollution could not be well monitored. Fortunately, at the UN Environment Assembly, we see a glimpse of hope for the future.
This is how it's done so far with traditional technology. And as you see, what it is, in fact, is like a mini laboratory put on the street. What we can do now is to use a very small electrochemical sensors with wireless communications and with cloud software, and deliver not just one place where we measure, but a network of different sensors in the city, fixed on the post or on the street lights, but also in police cars, for example, in buses, in garbage trucks, work with that big data and deliver very thoughtful information.
This new technology of air pollution monitoring system has been used by 12 countries, including the United States and Mexico. In the next few months, China, Japan, and South Korea will also utilize the system to analyze the information and find solutions.
根据这一份报告，绿色科技发展跟解决方案。
According to the report, measures to reach the Paris Agreement's targets will cost globally about $22 trillion, but the health benefits from reducing the pollution could amount to $54 trillion. Whether it is a worthy investment, the answer is quite obvious.
预出。以上是 Jonathan 波尔哈跟王伟玲在肯亚奈洛比的采访报道。
The principal of the Barack Obama Male Leadership Academy and 3 other educators especially made a trip to Hualianjing's Sabah to meet Dharma Master Zhen Yan. They have vowed to continue to carry out the education mission.
The former principal of Barack Obama Male Leadership Academy and the principal at Dr. Barbara Jordan Elementary School have come to Taiwan to understand the spirit of Tzu Chi's education. They've also met up with Dharma Master Zhen Yan and vowed to shape students' moral character.
As I grow as an individual, but ultimately as I share the love and compassion of Tzu Chi to others, so that they can truly understand a greater sense of themselves and ultimately a greater sense of who they are in the world, to spread love and compassion to all.
In Dallas of Texas, 87.6% of the students face financial difficulties. Tzu Chi Dallas chapter has brought Tzu Chi's humanitarian culture and Jingsi aphorisms into the schools. The teacher have been deeply moved.
一个学校的真有爱心、力量、共同方向，做起来才会有增长。教育是人生的希望，没有教育就没有希望。师父的精神要拿回去，一生无量。
The 4 principals and deputy principals have vowed to follow Dharma Master Cheng Yen's footsteps and carry out education missions.
Today, our series on the stateless population in northern Thailand is coming to a close. We end on a positive note, where beginning in 2015, Tzu Chi has been providing free medical services to refugees in Bangkok. Let's take a look at our last episode.
This clinic has many different nationalities. The medical staff inside and translators are working at a free clinic at the Jingsa Hall in Bangkok. Those seeking help today are international refugees living in Thailand. Before, they had nowhere to seek medical attention. In 2014, a letter from the U.S. Foreign Service paved the way for this clinic.
The
UNHCR Refugee Center in Bangkok provides medical care, but there are no fixed doctors who can provide good medical services to refugees. Tzu Chi took over the task of caring for the medical health for refugees with regular free clinics starting in 2015. At the time, the local Jingsa Hall was just being built. Also, more refugees, along with site issues and more medical manpower, were needed.
When we had no room or were thinking about renting, we went to Dharma Master Cheng Yen to ask for her advice. She only told us one thing: do it at the office. Then we told the workers to stop for 3 days to allow us to do some cleanup.
Panfeo Hospital and Rambathode Hospital are our main hospitals. And then there are our regular team of doctors and nurses. The free medical service has continued for nearly 3 years. This has led many refugees to feel at ease. Volunteers still have one more thing to do.
We meet them at the metro to take them to our liaison office. This means we need to cross administrative districts. So we set a time to meet authorities and ask them on this particular day to not to catch or harass our refugees.
On the day of the clinic, refugees are able to travel with peace of mind. Next to the clinic, volunteers are also caring for young children. There is a special drawing area and also a game area.
Maybe one day these refugees will travel to a third country. Many hope they have good memories of Thailand. Perhaps they have a certain feeling for the blue and white uniforms worn by Tzu Chi volunteers who gave them much happiness.
Once a month, they may have a chance to relax and speak in a familiar language and enjoy the taste of their hometown. Local volunteers in Thailand also specially came to teach traditional massage skills to them.
This monthly clinic helps him with a little bit of massage, but he still has to wait until next month to enjoy it. So I'm very willing to start these classes. It's best to teach these refugees to serve their own people.
Aisha, who assists with translation at the clinic, is 19 years old this year. She left with her parents from Pakistan at the age of 14, traveling to Thailand. She soon learned the Thai language and is currently now a temporary employee of Tzu Chi Thailand. She is responsible for assisting with refugee referrals.
When I go hospital and when I translate to them, so the patient, he said, "Thank you so much." When I go another hospital and difficult to understand Thai and English. So it's very good for me.
Following the volunteers, we come to Aman's home in Thailand. His family is also from Pakistan and is waiting in Bangkok to be transferred to a third country. They have waited here for more than 5 years and have yet to achieve legal status. Their life is very hard, and up until a year ago, Aman participated in a Tzu Chi vocational training class, learning computer graphics. With access to the internet, he may no longer need to do dangerous illegal work.
I job in restaurant and dishwashing job and cooking.
Cooking at a restaurant?
Yeah, restaurant. But with the no visa, the only salary 8,000, 7,000.
8,000. When you do more better, you get more.
Yeah. 200, 300.
200, 300 and 500 now.
Slowly increasing income has allowed Aman to plan for the future. After 25 years, Tzu Chi has been providing care for those in northern Thailand, as well as international refugees in Bangkok. Tzu Chi volunteers have accompanied them the whole way, providing them with hope and something to look forward to in the future.
Staying on the topic of stateless individuals, there are nearly 200,000 stateless children in Sabah, Malaysia. In addition, more than 90% of them have never been vaccinated. Fortunately, starting from last year, Sandakan Tzu Chi volunteers have been traveling there to provide free vaccinations for them.
Sandakan Tzu Chi volunteers have traveled here to give vaccinations to the stateless children.
For those of us with citizenships, getting vaccination shots is free. It costs them $20 per person to be vaccinated. That is why they do not dare to go to the hospitals, even if they fall ill. The parents cannot do anything about it. When they do go to the hospitals, it's when things are really bad, and the medical fees each day is much more expensive than us with citizen statuses.
If they are not vaccinated, so that means they will, their body will expose to the infection. So it will affect the local people. Local people is infected, so it will spread. The disease is spread. This can be spread.
The nurses from the Ministry of Health have come to give vaccination shots. The shots are mainly aimed for the prevention of measles, mumps, and rubella.
我们卫生部也正在有想办法，是不是应该这些疫苗？
Our Ministry of Health has been considering requiring every child to be vaccinated. We have also been thinking about vaccinating all the children, including the stateless ones. Today, I'm very happy and touched to see that Tzu Chi is doing this ahead of us.
我非常的高兴，也非常的感动。慈济既然领先，我们先做了。
Measles is highly contagious, and in serious cases could cause lethal complications. The parents are happy to see their children receiving the free vaccinations.
I'm very happy that my child can receive the free vaccination shot.
Tzu Chi has provided free vaccinations to stateless children starting in July and October of last year. This is the third time, and a total of 144 children have received the vaccination shots.
Malaysia Tzu Chi volunteers have been caring for impoverished students in Patam for 7 years already. Since students there have a shortage of educational resources, the volunteers decided to distribute school supplies to them.
Sandakan volunteers in Malaysia travel long distances to Paitan to distribute school supplies. Besides the 15 Tzu Chi volunteers from Sandakan, the other 19 are local volunteers in Paitan, including the principal and teachers.
I had the same experience before when I was still a student. I went to school by rowing the boat every day. After I became a teacher, I often thought about these problems. I want to pay attention to these issues that students face when going to school. I hope their children can succeed.
Children from 7 different schools participated in the distribution. The first graders received school bags, while the other graders received stationery.
Apart from daily supplies such as toothbrushes and toothpaste, Tzu Chi also provides clothes for extracurricular activities. We feel very grateful because Tzu Chi has been helping us over the past 6 years.
These children live a very difficult life, so they have to receive education. When they feel helpless, they hope the society can lend a helping hand to them, as well as provide them with better education.
In 2012, Tzu Chi began to help the impoverished students in Paitan because the volunteers feel for the children's poor learning conditions.
When we opened their students' pencil cases, we discovered that they actually did not have pencils. They only had small pieces of pencils. Without proper study tools, how can we ask them to study well? It's unfair to demand that they study hard and get good grades because they did not have basic needed school supplies.
In addition to receiving school supplies, the children also brought back their bamboo coin bags.
Untuk menolong orang.
Itu dari mana? Siapa yang pakai?
Dari ibu.
Python is situated in Sabah. The volunteers hand out the supplies to the children one by one, hoping that they can learn joyfully.
Turning our cameras to Taiwan, in Penghu, there's a 48-year-old care recipient who lives with both her husband and mother-in-law. Her husband suffers from cancer, and her mother-in-law is aging. Fortunately, over the years, Tzu Chi volunteers have been accompanying her through all the difficulties.
这个出海回来的时候都是怎样？
都很脏。
After I came back from fishing in the sea, all of these became very dirty. There were stones, crabs, caterpillars, and trash. Sometimes I got injured and bled because I did not notice these hooks. It usually takes me at least 40 minutes to clean a place like this, and I can earn $2 for each one. There are few job opportunities in Penghu, so it's hard to find a stable job.
我也赶人，出来啉一个汤，可费也济。我拢闻到紫菜的香味的。我先不要，不要。吃血糖肝。
This is my husband's medication for treating blood sugar, liver, as well as laryngeal cancer. He suffers from laryngeal cancer.
冷啊，冷到鼻子快掉下来了，太冷了，都快被风吹走了。
那你怎么不穿外套啦？
我里面有穿还好。里面坐。我们这样
疼了，
这我
不用脱了。
系啊，阿嬷的身体这种嘛就好了呀，15了哈。我觉得哈，你的气色跟前几次的气色差好多，现在觉得说红润的都很棒。
I always stay this way. I think it's very important to sleep well.
生活、饮食、起居归为正常，对不对？那身体就好起来了。那我觉得他们这一个家庭。
I think this family is great, especially his wife. She's very devoted and is the role model for women.
走进去慈济，学会了很多。
I have learned a lot after joining Tzu Chi. I really learned a lot from them. I'm willing to help other people in need. Really, after I joined Tzu Chi, I have been inspired. I also volunteer at hospitals, and I saw there are people who are suffering more than us. So I should stay strong, and I have to take care of my husband. Later, I will dedicate my love and care to other less fortunate people.
姐，
哇，来了，我们一起来做环保哈。对呀，那白色的就是。
这些满了，我们把它移开啊。
I always uphold a joyful heart to go to both the Jinsu Ho and recycling station. For me, it is not far away at all. I'm always in a happy mood because I can contribute my little efforts to help.
We accompany her to change her mindset, but for the future, it is her who accompanies her family through this path in life. We can see they live a very simple life and they're willing to help. During our stay here for several days, the northeast seasonal winds have brought lower temperatures, but they have experienced those northeast seasonal winds for decades.
In Kaohsiung Sanming District, there's a very well-known neighborhood chief. For the past 12 years, he has dedicated himself fully to the local community. What a great role model!
地球只有一个，所以我们还是要再回收这个，不然焚化炉一烧的话就坏掉了。
At dawn each day, Kaohsiung Sanming District Andong Neighborhood Chief Lin Tianshan works with local women to separate recyclables.
We want to mobilize the whole neighborhood to do recycling. On the one hand, we can improve our environment and earn about $60 to $90, which is a little income for us.
70-year-old Lin Tianshan was originally a street performer who worked in the neighborhood and saw what his aging community needed.
We have a lot of elderly people here, about 500 of them. We recruited about 30 of them to come together and form the Andong Community Development Association.
12 years ago, Lin Tianxiang began to offer courses for the elderly, helping them live a more active life. And 7 years ago, he began a meal delivery services for them.
We send meals to 30 different elders from Monday to Friday. We do it rain or shine. He's quite good. He sends food to us. Yes, he's very enthusiastic. He offers great services. He really cares for the elders and the underprivileged. There's no secret to managing the community. I treat everyone like friends.
Lin Tianxiang has become a vital part of this community, solving many of their problems and undertaking much of the work by himself. He can often be seen on his scooter sending meals and compassion to those in need.
Next, we'll take a look at a recycling station in Fujian. Most of the recycling volunteers there are the elderly. Each volunteer has their own incredible life stories. Let's meet some of these individuals.
A recycling station is located in the historic neighborhood of Zhenjing community in Quanzhou City. Every Friday, the senior volunteers will come early in the morning to volunteer. Among the volunteers, 78-year-old Grandma Cai is the oldest, and she's always the first one to be here. Grandma Cai had always been doing recycling work to support her family financially. Therefore, she's very clear of the prices for each recyclable item. Everyone refers to her as the recycling boss. Upon learning the establishment of local city recycling station in 2013, she immediately came to volunteer in order to help more people in need.
I want to help those who are facing difficulties in life. They don't have enough money to even buy food to eat on a daily basis. As a Tzu Chi recycling volunteer, I feel like I can do my part to help sort recyclable goods. The funds from these items can go directly to help them buy daily supplies.
Many volunteers are devoted as her. They will come at least for 1 hour to volunteer. For them, the recycling station is like a home. And on this day, a birthday celebration was held.
I'm very happy because this is my first time celebrating my birthday. I never told my daughter-in-law about my birthday as well.
As one can hear, this song is very special. It's a song written by volunteer Li Shouzhi. Before, her husband didn't understand the meaning of recycling, but after listening to this song, her husband had realized her determination.
I sang this song to my husband. After hearing it, he told me that if my mind is already determined, then he has no choice but let me come to volunteer.
With family support and strong determination, this volunteer wanted to keep doing recycling as long as she can. Besides protecting our earth, these senior volunteers are also delivering love and care to people in need.
The U.S. Tzu Chi headquarters held the 7th vegetarian cook-off competition for the Tzu Salts. This time, the teams are the ones planning and executing the event. They did a wonderful job, and it's such a great way to promote vegetarianism. Thank you for watching. See you next time.